Dolphins, Chargers. This is what I want to start out with Everett. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that is exactly what Brandon Staley did for calling man over and over against Tyreek Hill, expecting different results after he saw Tyreek Hill absolutely torch the living shit out of every single cornerback on the team over and over in the first half. Why are you, did something, he made the field goal, like what?
No, I'm just laughing at the fact that the one player, the one dude in the entire NFL
Let's start with
that
this,
you know
Everett.
not to man coverage is Tyreek Hill.
I'm not sure what you think about Tyreek, Everett, but in my opinion, I would say he is the fastest man to ever put on an NFL uniform that I've ever seen. Now
it's either him or
maybe,
Prime Dion, right?
Yeah,
it's between those two
that I've seen. Okay, at least in this era.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes, that you and I have actively been alive to watch.
Hey, you know what? Actually, that's besides the point. Right now, in all of the NFL, the fastest man in the league is Tyreek Hill. So with that knowledge, you would assume that, hey, we don't have a guy that can keep up with him if they're playing man. He's the fastest man in the NFL. We literally can't. So you would assume that, hey, if you are gonna do man, let's give him some help. But no. Brandon Staley, he has this thing called pride, Everett, okay? And all off season, I think he might have challenged his corners, JC Jackson, who we're about to get into, dead to me, in prison. But Brandon Staley all offseason, I think he just challenged JC Jackson, challenged Asante Samuel, even though he didn't match up with Tyreek, and challenged Michael Davis that you can win one-on-one with no help. And I literally think he's stubborn and just refused to change it. So JC Jackson is also awful. Don't get me wrong. Okay. He gave away 3 points at the end of the half, which, hey, was the difference in the game. We lost by 2. So JC Jackson just handed them a field goal at the end of the half. He shoved over a receiver with 2 seconds left on the clock, who was not in contention to catch it in triple coverage, just shoved him over before the ball was even close to them. Obvious PI. Don't know why he did it. The only solution I have is that Bill Belichick sent him to San Diego or Los Angeles to just cripple the defense. Bill noticed that the Chargers were his threat. Now, he didn't realize that they were already in division in Miami, but he thought Los Angeles, he thought we were the threat 2 years ago, sent us JC Jackson as a literal bomb to explode in our face. He's awful. He's the worst corner I've ever seen in my life. And
that's the whole payment thing.
But despite how bad JC Jackson is, the more painful thing is Staley continuing to put JC Jackson in a position to fail after he saw him get cooked on literally the first play of the game.
So you're gonna need it. I'm pretty sure it was JC Jackson. All right, let's just stipulate this. The final score had the Dolphins winning by 2 points.
36-34, yes.
End of the first half. Think it was JC Jackson in cover.
It was JC Jackson.
Random, just throwaway play. Tua throws jump ball up. There's 3 defenders around the player, and JC Jackson decides to hold him for OP or DPI. They get the
no. The ball's in the air coming down, and he just shoves the receiver over.
And they put the ball there, and they kick a field goal. That's the 3-point margin to win. It's on JC Jackson.
Like player-wise, yes. I do want to say, though, that the fact that Staley continued rolling JC Jackson out on Tyreek one-on-one in the second half, it's like, are we trying to lose? Like, what's going on here? I'm like, I genuinely thought for a second, like, did Staley not install zone this offseason? Like, has he?
Yeah, you actually got your team actually exclusively does not run zone. That play is banned in the playbook. That's been taken out.
I just don't understand it. I don't.
Let me also ask you this: how many times did Joey Bosa drop back?
Oh, so he actually wasn't dropping back. I was complaining a lot about the lack of sacks, lack of just production from the edges. Now I know they were credited with like a lot of pressures, but like at the end of the day, it's about getting home. I just won fantasy. Sky Moore, you are redeemed for everything. You are redeemed for everything.
There's a flag on that play.
No. No, you're killing me.
I also just want to add, by the way, it is a pass interference on Stephon Diggs.
The play before, Stephon Diggs just got that.
Oh, he did. I just also want to add by the way,
another catch. Oh, that's
it is a
that
point
PI on Sauce.
It is a point
two-hand touch.
It is a 0.25 point game between two of our teams in the league right now, and Breece Hall is the determining factor for the team that's down by 0.25.
Breece Hall's looked good. Now that game's not quite over yet. We're about to recap that game in 35 seconds, but
we'll find out if we're doing the rankings tonight or not.
Like he was jogging on those two long runs. Oh my God! Imagine him next year.
For the Chargers, I'm going to be honest. All right, they gave up a sizable amount of points, but the Dolphins have been very good on offense. We knew they were going to be good going into this year. I would honestly say it is a loss, and I had them.
Just let me say one thing about the edges. This is shouting out the Dolphins. I was complaining about the lack of sacks from the edges, but there were multiple plays where the Dolphins left either Bosa or Mack completely unblocked. And think about what I just said. The Miami Dolphins, whose quarterback Tua has head problems and really needs protection this year, the Dolphins are comfortable leaving Joey Bosa completely unblocked because they know Tyreek Hill will win in man in under 2 seconds against any corner on the team. That's the most pathetic shit they feel comfortable leaving Tua with Bosa completely unblocked because they know Tyreek's winning. Are you kidding
That's called
me?
why you don't run man, or you have your safety help.
I just, it hurts. It hurts.
But what I will say though is
unblocked.
Even with the high scoring, like the Dolphins, we knew they were going to have a good offense because of just what we saw last year, and Tyreek Hill's disgusting. Losing technically should have won, but losing that game with putting up that amount of points, like that gives me a lot of hope for what the Chargers can do this season.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if there's any positive, it's that Kellen Moore. Oh my God, Kellen Moore for Heisman. Okay, he deserved it back in 2007. Okay, Kellen Moore for Heisman. Let's get it going. But on a serious note, like we got Slater back, which was kind of like arguably the biggest loss we had last year. Actually, when it's all said and done, I truly believe he impacts more than Keenan, Mike, Derwin, Bosa. Mac wasn't hurt, but you get what I'm saying. But it was the interior lineman getting a push. I was like, oh my God. I thought for a second it was a personnel problem. I was like, Zion, I'm not sure if this was really the pick. I had some questions about maybe personnel, but no, like it was actually Joe Lombardi's scheme sucked.
And what did I tell you? The end of when Kellen Moore got hired and we were going through how you felt about this next season, you were like, dude, we're going to be so bad. Like it's going to be terrible. And I was like, hey, it's a new scheme. It's a new coordinator. It's going to be fine. And I told you that I think he was going to be good. And I think it got proved. That got proved. Also, that proves, by the way, Kellen Moore was not the issue on the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. But now the Cowboys won 40-0. So
that was because of their defense.
Fans will still be taking.
That was their defense.
No, I know, but Cowboys fans will still be taking like
victory laps.
Yeah. That Kellen Moore is a problem, but it's like no. I just want to say, yeah, it's the run game. The interior, we can run on 1st and 10. I actually think they might have passed one time on first down.
I also told you this today. Eckler is up for contract. We're assuming he's not going to get re-signed by the Chargers, right?
The Chargers next year.
Even if Josh Kelly, I don't know. We didn't check.
That was the star. That was
but I could see Tony Pollard level hype coming out of this season with Josh Kelly.
Call your shot.
Because of the way that he's being used, the same way that Pollard was used last year for the Cowboys. And it is fully on Kellen Moore. But because of the usage, because of the touches and the explosiveness that we saw, at least this past week, as of right now, I will say going into the end of this season and next year, Josh Kelly could or will have Tony Pollard level hype going into next year.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that production out of Josh Kelly. Now, Josh Kelly's a guy that.
Now, here's a guy.
I missed Collinsworth too. A lot of my friends were saying like, God, I hate Collinsworth. I'm like, appreciate it while it's here. Like you're gonna miss Joe Buck one day too. Trust you will.
No.
Oh, no. You will. Trust you will.
No.
But
no.
I was just shocked with how well we were double teaming on the inside and getting to the second level. We were getting 2-3 yards of push every single time we ran power. And I was like, oh my God, we can run power. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I absolutely adore. I think Kelly's like the perfect, I would say change of pace, but not in the way where like Pollard is equal, where Pollard's like the speed guy. Like Kelly's the power guy, but like that's what this team needs, and he can catch. So, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, Everett, I was kind of doubting you earlier, but Kelly actually might just be the starting running back next year.
And I mean, if even if he is a free agent, he'd be pretty cheap re-sign or tag. So
100% be cheap.
It shouldn't
we'll
be
see the production this year. He might be expensive.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, I know we got to get in the Vikings second, but
yeah, let's get on to that now.
This